very good afternoon to one and all. On behalf of Shroff SR Rotary Institute of Chemical Technology, I, Dr. Jalpa Thakkar, would like to welcome our speaker of today's program, respected Aarti Patil Madam, Principal SRICT, Professor Shrikant Wagh, Vice Principal, Professor Snehal Lokhandwala, all the HODs, faculty and staff members, and our dear students. As we know that there is no magic pill that effortlessly launches anyone out of their cubicle confinement and into the free world of entrepreneurship, for a girl, the dream to be her own boss grows for a long time, even years, before it finally comes to fruition. In our institute, we have around 300 girl students, including alumni, and many of them may have similar dreams. We had gone through a survey of great women entrepreneurs to share how they got their start in their business. Their answers revealed the deep motivators and their personal qualities that drove them to make their big idea a reality. So the truth is, great success in business grows from just one tiny seed. Today, we have with us successful women entrepreneur Ms. Aarti Patil, founder and managing director of Helsa Icon India Private Limited, to plant this seed in our girls student and to motivate them to pursue their dreams to be an entrepreneur. Now we are all very much eager to hear from such a strong personality who strongly believes in when the going gets tough, the tough gets going. And further, I humbly request Aarti Madam to take over the podium and to address the gathering. Aarti ma'am, floor is yours.
Good afternoon, everyone. I would rather say this in Gujarati. Sarvane Mara Namaste Ani Jai Shri Krishna. Before I start this session, I would like to convey my special thanks to Dr. Shrikant Wagh for giving me this opportunity, Dr. Jalpa for making this a possibility, and the entire team of SRICT for organizing this show. Thank you so much. So once again, hi everybody. I cannot tell you how happy I am to spend this wonderful afternoon with all of you. Looking at these lovely faces, which was such a rare sight in my days, adds up to my joy. In those days, girls rarely took up engineering, more so chem engineering. So watching these array of colors adds up to my joy. They always say that you should never read book of your life to everyone, because very few care about the chapters and most of them are only interested in the story and the climax. But my climax is yet to come. My story is not complete. So I'm going to share with you the journey of my life. So are you all ready to walk down this journey? There are times in your life when you stop to think, or there are moments in your life when you stop to think, why I am here? How did I reach here? And this takes me back to where it all began. My roots, my family, and my beginning. I was born to very amazing parents, incredible parents. I was always a good student, a good daughter, and made my parents happy and proud 90% of the time. Maybe slight exaggeration is allowed in your personal achievement, isn't it? I was a second born. I have an older sister and a younger brother. But all three of us were given equal opportunities to pursue our dreams. There was never something like a gender discrimination. But I did face the gender discrimination at a very early age. And that's what I'll first share it with you. When I got my feet in engineering, I was very happy. I was very thrilled. It was a dream come true. My parents were happy too. But then my dear old grandmother, my nanny, whom I used to love, she was a cutie pie. she felt that engineering is not meant for girls. Girls should do either nursing or they should be teachers. That's what my aunts and my mom were. My mom is a qualified nurse. And she said, ये लड़कियों का काम नहीं है. ये इंजीनियर क्यों बनना चाहती है? लड़कियां इंजीनियर नहीं बनती. I was really shattered. But my father, whom I always addressed as Baba, was very clear that my daughter becomes an engineer. That's what she wants to be. And that's how I landed up at Lakshminarayan Institute of Technology to be graduated as a chemical engineer in 1983. So as again going back to my life, I was born to a lower middle class family, but very forward thinking parents. My parents believed that education is the essence of life and they should give their children the blessings or the gift of blessings of Saraswati, who will always remain with them, rather than Lakshmi, who comes and goes. So all three of us were well educated. As a child, I never wanted to fit into glass slippers. All of you must have heard the story of Cinderella and glass slippers. All she did was to fit into the glass slippers so the Prince Charming could find her and they lived happily ever after. But well, I never wanted to fit into glass slippers. And my Baba always felt that my daughter is capable of shattering a glass ceiling. A phrase I'm not very fond of, because this takes out the context of everything I did, my achievements, my hard work, and puts them in a box as if that was all I was waiting to do, get inside the box and break it open. No, not at all. All I wanted to do was pursue my dreams, evolve the better version of myself. But that doesn't mean the glass ceiling does not exist. It does. It does. The Oxford Dictionary meaning of the glass ceiling is an unacknowledged barrier which prohibits you or stops you from growing up in a professional career. Feminists call it as a barrier in your career. Most women and men experience this in their day-to-day life. Mostly women. Though they are much deserving, though they are more capable, though they can do much better, they do not rise above certain position in a hierarchy. So my aim today is not to tell you not to make the glass ceiling as your final destination. Through my experiences, I will tell you certain tools or some mantras which I feel can help you to overcome this, which is said by this patriarchal society. So are you all ready now to listen to my 7 mantras or my 7 points or my 7 tools which will help you to achieve these dreams? Because it all starts with a dream. It all starts with a dream. Dream creates desire. Desire creates determination. And determination leads you to your destiny. And what you are destined, you will get it. No matter what, you will get it. So girls always aim high. Now I present to you my 7 tools. And every tool has a story weaved. It may not come in a chronological order, but every tool that I feel is necessary for the growth has a story behind it. And here I go. Tool number 1, discover yourself. Remember, there is only one you, and there can never be another one like you. I do not mean the superfluous you. I mean the inner core, your values, your beliefs. And the day you understand this, you have taken your first step towards finding your unique self. They say that a human brain has 4 parts. The first part is what you want to show yourself to the world. आप अपने आप को किस तरह से दुनिया को दिखाना चाहते हो, दैट्स नॉट रियल यू. यू ऑलवेज लाइक टू क्रिएट अ गुड इमेज. आप अच्छा इमेज दिखाते हो कि दिस इज हाउ आई एम. You try to hide everything that is negative about you and show that, and you are in your best behavior. That's your first part. The second part of yours is how the world sees you. The world decides or makes an impression about you based on your behavior, based on your body language, based on your attitude. They perceive that this is how this person is. काफी बार आप लोगों ने सुना होगा, अरे यार ये ऐसी नहीं है जैसी वो दिखती है. So that's how world perceives you. The third is what you think about yourself. You think that you have nothing negative. You are picture perfect. You can have no flaws. But please remember, girls, none of us are ever perfect. We are flawed, but we do not want to accept that there can be something wrong with us. And the fourth part of you, which for me is the most important part of you, is something which you yourself are not aware of, which the world doesn't know that you have it in you. And that I call it as your potential. That I call it as your capability. And this is what exactly you have to look for, your potential and your capability, what you are and what you are capable of. And here comes my first story about finding myself. As a child, I used to read a lot of James Headley Chase books, or you call it Colonel Ranjit ki kitabein. I wanted to become a detective. I wanted to become a jasoos, Sherlock Holmes, because I used to read a lot of their books. But what I become? I do my engineering, I do my management course, I work as a design engineer. I have 15 years of working life in the technical field, heavy engineering field. I become the vice president of a company, and finally I leave everything behind to become an entrepreneur. I moved out of my comfort zone to become an entrepreneur. And what made me become an entrepreneur was an unpleasant experience in my working life, which I just decided I don't want to work for somebody. I want to be my own boss. And I decided to leave my highly paid job and take this journey as an entrepreneur. Nobody was happy in my family. Neither my parents, nor my family, near family, or my ex-husband, none of them were happy, because it was a step I was taking which they felt that may not be successful. I come from a working class family. And from working class family, you want to become a businesswoman. No financial backing, no business acumen, nothing. But somewhere I felt I have that potential in me to become an entrepreneur. And I did become an entrepreneur because I had that potential to become a business person. And I realized it quite late. At the age of 38, I realized that I want to become a business person. And I became. So all I would like to say is, we do not allow ourselves to dream of our future. We do not want to take chances in life. We don't want to leave our comfort zone. But please remember, change is the only constant thing in your life. It's never ever late to learn. So do not hesitate to learn in life. Discover yourself and find your path. You must have seen my video where I say that my dictionary does not have the word called impossible. I read it as I am possible. You all are engineering students. Math is one of your subjects. What does the math teach you? It tells you that every problem has a solution, isn't it? Then why restrict this only to subject? Why don't you apply this in your day-to-day life, in your personal life, and in your professional life? And this takes me to my second tool, perseverance. What is perseverance? Perseverance is pursuing something despite of the difficulties, despite of the success being delayed, you still pursue for it. आप कोशिश करते रहते हो जब तक आप उसमें सक्सेसफुल नहीं हो जाते हो. हम उसे परसिवरेंस कहते हैं. और जब आप बहुत शिद्दत से किसी चीज की कोशिश करते हो तो यार पूरी कायनात आपके साथ होती है. Try it out. So perseverance is must for a person, both in personal as well as professional life. And here I do have a story which I would like, because it's like, I have already in the video, you have seen that regarding my project and my bank loan. Having started this project, I had realized very early within 2 years that until I reinvest in this company will perish. So the only option I had was I had to expand, I had to grow. And for that, I needed money. And I had no money. I had no securities, because jo ek ghar tha, I had given it to my bank for the collateral security. And 2-3 years, my business was very bad. I hadn't made any money. But I still wanted to do this project. So I had made a project report, submitted to bank. And girl, 6 months, I just pursued it tirelessly. Banks were not ready to give me the loan. They felt that I will not be able to repay them. But मैं कोशिश करती रही. I did not give up. Finally, I could convince them that their money is safe if they invest in me. Because there is one entrepreneur who has no money but has all the intentions to pay them back. Somehow that जो मेरा शिद्दत से कोशिश थी, somewhere it reached my banker. And I was given the loan. The loan was sanctioned by the bank. And the rest is a history. I started my expansion in my new project. I have one more example here, which I wouldn't call it as exactly as the perseverance, but also a bit of discrimination. When I got my seat in engineering in Lakshmi Narayan Institute of Technology, I was very happy. I was called for the seat allotment. I was representing the state of Karnataka, क्योंकि मैंने मेरी 11वीं-12वीं कर्नाटका से की थी, so मेरी seat कर्नाटका की थी. And Karnataka had only one seat in the college. It was a merit seat. And when I went there were another 7 to 8 boys from Karnataka who had come to claim the seat. But the advantage that I had was my score was the highest among them. So technically the college was supposed to give me the seat, but they did not want to give me the seat, and I was not ready to leave the seat. I remember the director then, I wouldn't like to name him, may his soul rest in peace. He had called me to his room to say that there are no girls in this college, there are a handful of 4-5 ladkiyan hi yahan hain. And in your batch, there are no girls. There are about 70 to 80 boys have taken the admission. You might be all alone for 4 years. You will have no friends. Why do you want to take this seat? Why don't you try some other engineering? I just told him, sir, मैं यहाँ दोस्ती करने नहीं आई हूँ. I have come to do my degree. I want this seat. They tried all methods to see that I'm dissuaded, but I was not ready to give up. And in girls, I was only 17 in those days. And in 17 साल के ऊपर आपके ऊपर इतना प्रेशर डाला जा रहा है कि आप सीट छोड़ दो. हम सीट छोड़ने को मैं तैयार ही नहीं थी. Then they told me that you girls take up the engineering, आप सीट ले लेती हो, then you take the degree, then you get married, and then you don't work and you waste a seat. Any other boy who takes up this seat will feed his family for life. He'll be the bread earner. I remember my words to him, sir, I will work lifelong. मैं काम करूंगी, मैं भी अपना परिवार पालूंगी. And that's what I'm exactly doing even today. Because every time I felt I should take a step back and retire and relax, मुझे मेरे डायरेक्टर की बात याद आती है, जिन्होंने मुझे कहा था कि तुम लड़कियां सीट लेकर सीट बर्बाद कर देती हो. But I did not give up. I took the seat and I qualified as a chemical engineer from there. I was not ready to leave my seat. All that helped me was my perseverance over there, you know. मैं pursue करती रही जब तक उन्होंने मुझे हाँ नहीं कहा. So the next point I would like to tell you is, do not compromise. What I mean is, do not settle on your dreams. Let not any circumstances or anyone tell you what to do and what not to do. Do not live on somebody else's benchmark. Make your own path. Create your own path. And that takes me to my third tool, be greedy. अब आप बोलोगे ये मैडम हमको बी ग्रीडी क्यों कहती है? I don't tell you be greedy, lalchi bano, not in the literal sense of meaning of being greedy. What I would like to say is be greedy about your ambitions. Be passionate about what you want to do. If you don't have that passion, you cannot succeed. There is nothing wrong in wanting everything in life. For all those who want everything, there is nothing wrong. मुझे सब कुछ चाहिए, इसमें गलत क्या है? I want to have the cake and eat it too. Nothing wrong. As long as you do not compromise on your morals. You do not hurt somebody. You do not harm somebody. Absolutely, you can be greedy. Greedy for your passions, greedy for your ambitions, greedy for your dreams. Here, I don't know how many would accept this story of mine on being greedy. As I told you that I was given a bank loan to start my project. But if you want to put up a project, the project cost is 100 rupees, bank gives you only 75 rupees, 25 rupees आपका पैसा होता है. And girls, I had no money. मेरे पास वो 25% नहीं था. And how do I generate this? I just did not know. There was no money in the bank. जो कुछ सोना था वो मैं बेच चुकी थी. PF अकाउंट मेरा खाली था और बैंक ने लोन सैंक्शन कर दिया था, but I had no money of my own to put. My margin money was not there. What do I do? Somebody told me that you can always take personal loans. When I came to know about that, I approached a cousin of mine who was the country manager of HSBC. मैंने कहा कि मुझे ये पैसे चाहिए, मुझे पर्सनल लोन चाहिए. He never knew for what. He said, "You are most welcome, we will give you." I go to the bank with all my papers. The concerned officer goes through my income tax returns and everything. And he says me, sorry ma'am, आपके रिटर्न्स बहुत ही खराब है, क्योंकि 2 साल तक मैंने कुछ कमाया ही नहीं था, कुछ इनकम ही नहीं थी, तो इनकम टैक्स रिटर्न्स वर वेरी बैड. He says we cannot give you any money on this papers. That was the most nerve shattering experience I had. I just felt अब कुछ नहीं होने वाला मेरा. It was, I know that disappointment that I felt when he said you cannot get a personal loan on your income tax returns. I was feeling most helpless person. I just took my papers. I was literally in tears. मैंने खाली मेरे papers उठाया और मैं उठ के खड़ी हो गई. When I get up, he looks at my face. And somehow he felt that this girl needs money. I have to help her. He says, "Madam, please बैठिए." Then he asked me, "Do you have a credit card?" And in those days, when I was working and when I had reached the position of vice president, my salary was very good. I had very good income tax returns and I had a credit card with a limit of 3.5 lakhs on it. And my credit history was very good. He looks at that credit card and he looks at my credit history and he said, "Madam, इसके ऊपर मैं आपको personal loan दे दूंगा." And that's how I got my first personal loan. And I was so happy, and I knew the tactics how to get my personal loan now. And I applied this and I took 2 more personal loans that technically you cannot take. So maybe somewhere I did wrong by taking from other banks personal loan without telling them that I had already taken the personal loan from so and so bank. I did little arm twisting, whatever you call that. But my intentions were not wrong here, because I paid back every penny of the bank. I paid back every loan of mine once my project started rolling. So my conscience was clear. I did that. But that's all I would like to say is, please fight for your dreams, because no one else is going to fight for it, but only you. Opportunities. What are opportunities? They don't come very often. They don't come very often. They come far in between. But when they come, do we recognize them? No. Most of the time, no. So when the opportunities knock at your door, please grab them. Please grab them. Don't let them slip away from your hands. Squeeze every drop out of them. And this is what I call it as drive. This is what I call it as ambition. So my third or the fourth point is be ambitious. Be ambitious in life. Nothing wrong. One of my pre-university teacher had told me that if you aim to reach the moon, you can at least reach the Eiffel's Tower. So aim high. Aim high and ensure that you can reach your dreams. No job, no profession is big or small. Whatever you do, excel in that. That's important. With an engineering background, having spent my 15 to 17 years in a heavy engineering field, the product that I selected was shoulder pads, a garment accessory. Nothing to do with my technical background. But having started it, I wanted to make it the most successful venture. It was my ambition that I should be the world's best shoulder pad maker. How do I do that? As I said, no technology, no money, no technical know-how, no backing, nothing. But the ambition was there. I should make the world's best. That's how I approached Helsa. They were my competitors in India, a German company. They were my competitors, and I used to come across their brand very often. And they say, when you can't beat a competition, join the competitor. That's exactly I did. I approached them. It was not that I approached them and they came. No, it was quite a long transaction. We kept talking, meeting. They came to Hyderabad. They went and they saw my factory. They have seen everything that I have, my facilities, my customers. And finally, it was decided that they join hands with me. And today I can proudly say that I make world's best shoulder pads. So nothing is impossible. It was my ambition, it was my dream, and I did it. I was totally written off after my divorce. Business was in bad shape. Both the children were with me. I had no money. I was emotionally, financially, totally drained out. Too many loans on my head and nothing to look forward to. I had taken some very wrong decisions on my personal front that added up to my woes. And the only thing I could cry was my pillow. रात को रोते थे, सोती थी, रोती थी. And again morning I used to get up with a resolve, let me find a solution. And I still hold that pillow. It's still with me. Very cherished pillow of mine, my confidence in the life. So all I would like to say here is my mantra number 5 is be brave, be fearless, be confident. Confidence is the only thing you should wear most of the time. That is the best suit you can ever wear. Don't let it down. The story here that I have for my fearless attitude or my confidence is, after my divorce, maybe probably 2007 or 6, I can't remember the exact year, I had come to my factory next day of the salary. First day the salary was given, next day when I walk in, I had no male workers in my factory. In those days, I hardly had 20 workers, about 10 to 11 ladies and 8 to 9 men. And when I enter, I find no male workers. There was only one guy at the gate, my security guy, and one person on one of the machines who was a local guy. All the boys who used to stay in the rooms in the factory were not there. So I just felt they have all taken off together. Why there are no workers? So I asked them, where are all these boys? So everybody was just quietly watching me. After some time, one lady came and told me, Madam, all the boys, sab ladkon ko, my ex had taken, whisked them away and gone. Because he had become my competitor, he had a shoulder pad factory too. He had taken away all my workers and gone, all the trained workers. And there were no workers in the factory. And I just did not know what to do. I tell you, the whole feeling was, I didn't know what to do. I was feeling very, very sad. I was full of tears, but I could not cry in front of them because they were looking up to me for a solution. The ladies saw how distressed I was. One of them comes, holds me, and says, "Madam, we are all with you. We ladies will work, and we will see the factory doesn't close." I just wanted to compose myself. I said, "Okay, I'll come back again." I wanted to go back to my room. Then the guy who was at my gate comes to me and says, "Madam, I know all the machines. I have been watching them working. Can I work in the factory?" I said, "Please, most welcome," because we had no male workers. We only had one left. He comes. I said, "Please start the machine." I go back to my room to comfort myself, to cry in the privacy of my room. After half an hour, the guy comes and knocks on my door. I ask him what happened. He says, "Machine ka breakdown ho gaya." And I was just stunned because I had not taken any training on those machines. My ex-husband had taken the training on the machines, and there were a couple of workers who were trained to handle the breakdown. And I just did not know what to tell him. I just waited. I said, "ठीक है, मैं आती हूँ, तुम चलो." I was just thinking, one bomb to phuta. Now he says the machine is not working. So I opened the instruction manual. I compose myself, open the instruction manual and go through it. The troubleshooting part. And then my confidence creeps in me again. I just realized I'm an engineer myself. Why can't I take care of my own machine? Why can't I handle this troubleshooting? Let me give it a try. All that helped me was my confidence. I take the book and go up. And I tell that guy, let's start checking one by one how to handle this troubleshooting. And after 30 to 40 minutes, the machine was in operation once again. And that was the biggest moral victory that I had. How did I achieve this? Just by being confident. Just by being confident. I'm not perfect. No one ever can be. So whatever I do it in the life, I own this, right or wrong. And I'm proud of it. I'm proud of it. So don't be ashamed of any decisions that you take in life. You own it. You own it, and you should be proud about whatever you take. गलत हुआ तो भी आपकी गलती है, सही हुआ तो भी आपकी गलती है. So that I meant was being brave, being fearless, be fiercely independent, and be confident. All these four are required for all of us to survive in this industry. You either fail or you win, but don't take it as a failure. Never take it as a failure. Take it as a learning experience. Because failure is as certain as day and night. You will fail. Fail, 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 and then rise up like a phoenix from your ashes. More stronger, more smarter, and more powerful. But do not give up. Never give up. Because giving up is very, very easy. When you are faced with adversity, you give up in life. Do not. Face them. Next, the most important tool I talk of is balance in your life. Balance as a working mom and a mother at home, or a housewife as a homemaker. Most important tool. Because people feel that a woman cannot do both the work simultaneously. They feel they will either be a good homemaker or they'll be a good officer, but they cannot do both. I don't accept that, not at all. Learn to strike a balance between both, and that we can do. We can do. Set your priorities right. Balance both. And कभी पलड़ा यहाँ भारी हो सकता है, कभी वहाँ हो सकता है. But finally, आप लोगों ने उसे बैलेंस करना ही है. When you are at home, be a homemaker. When you are at office, just be an officer and just focus on your work. Learn to keep these two lives separate. I know ये mix हो जाती है. Personal and professional line कभी भी mix हो जाती है, but don't give up. Try a balance in them all the time. काफी कहानियां इसके ऊपर, क्योंकि मैंने लाइफ बैलेंस किया है. आई हैव बैलेंस्ड माई लाइफ and I have faced all these problems as a working mom. And one very story which is very close to my heart is in the year 2007. My both kids were with me and I was trying to struggle and build up my business. So for me, the business was equally important because that was the reason for our survival. We were all dependent upon this industry of mine. So I had a very important meeting in Bangalore. And even today, they are one of my biggest customers. And I could not avoid that meeting. And that happened to be a Dhanteras day, 2 days before Diwali. And I always used to celebrate Diwali very grandly. My kids knew that Mummy lights up the house, makes a lot of sweet. In the factory, we used to celebrate. Lekin, yes, which was a situation wherein I couldn't have left that meeting too. I had to go to this meeting. So I tell my children, I will come back in the evening for Dhanteras, but I have to attend this meeting. I remember taking a very early morning flight. I wake up at 3 o'clock. I cook for my children breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I take that flight, early morning 6 o'clock flight. I reach Bangalore. I finish all my meetings. In between काफी फोन्स आए मेरे बच्चों के कि मम्मी कब आ रहे हो कब आ रहे हो. I said I have an evening flight, मैं वापस आ रही हूँ. The meeting went very well and even today they are my customers. So it was a very happy situation. चलो धनतेरस के दिन हमने लक्ष्मी ला ली. Meeting was good. But now I had to rush home for my children because they were waiting for me. So I take an evening flight of 6:30. I arrive Hyderabad at 7:30. I arrive and my kids call up my daughter, who was in those days about 16 to 17 years, and my son was hardly 7-8 years old. She was very upset कि सबके घर में दिए लग गए हैं. Everybody is celebrating Diwali and Mommy, you are at home. Then I'm reaching, I'm already in Hyderabad. On my way from the airport, I buy a small statue of Lakshmi, which is till today with me as a Dhanteras item. I go home. I reach at about 9 o'clock. Kids are waiting for me. I tell them, I hold them, I hug them. They're a bit annoyed and upset. I said, मेरी बेटी चलो दिए जलाते हैं, हम दिए जलाते हैं, हम पूजा करते हैं, लक्ष्मी जी को बिठाते हैं. And उसके बाद भी again, I start cooking sweets for my children. I was very tired because it was by then it was 11 at night. But then they were waiting for me. I have somewhere compromised on my tiredness, and looking at their smiling faces that Mummy is back at home was the happiest moment for me. It was all my tiredness. And I ensured that neither my business suffered nor my kids were very unhappy. Maybe somewhere, you get compromised in trying to adjust this. But that is must. Balancing your life as a working woman and as a homemaker is must. Try to do that in life. And do not get stressed out on small things. When I'm over stressed out, I go and bake a cake. Or I go jogging or running, walking. So do that. Take care of yourself and ensure that you balance your life. As you know, always remember one thing, there is always somebody who is less fortunate than you. So with this, I go to my 7th point, give back to society. अपने लिए हम सब कुछ करते हैं, बट जब आप इस काबिल हो जाओ कि आप किसी की मदद कर सकते हो, तो please do that. Because I have again had people who have helped me in this journey. I call them as angels in my life. Whenever I felt I was sinking, some 2 strong hands have picked me up and said, Aarti, तुम अभी डूब नहीं सकती हो. And these 2 strong hands were of some person who came as an angel in my life trying to help me. There are many people who have helped me in this journey, but at least couple of people I would like to mention who were the real angels of my life. The first angel in my life was Gitanjali Mishra. She was then the AGM of State Bank of India. She has been with me in this journey of my building of my industry. She has seen my struggles. So and in those days, I did not even know what is called balance sheet and how to manage a business, having started it. So my first year of financial year, I remember I was carrying, and I used to manage the office, and my ex-husband used to manage the factory. And 30th September was the third quarter closing of the bank, which was again for me something new because I was not used to it. So it was a bank closing, and I had a call from madam on 29th of September. Aarti, tomorrow is a bank closing and your bank has a deficit. NPA ho sakta hai. You need to have, there is a shortfall of 40,000 rupees. And I just told her, madam, don't worry, मेरा courier आ रहा है, payment आ रहा है, आपके पास कल payment पहुंच जाएगा. And that was 29th of September, and I have delivered my son on 6th of October. So I was full term pregnant in that day. And I just told her I will come. Next day morning, as usual, again there was a reminder call from her, saying me the same thing, Aarti, आज 12 बजे से पहले अपना payment deposit कर देना. I told her, yes ma'am, I will definitely come, don't worry. Courier is on the way. The courier comes to my house at 12 noon. I was happy to hold the check in my hand. I start getting ready. My mother was shocked. She said, how can you travel in this condition? And I had no driver because I was only the manager. I was only the worker in the factory. So I said, no, I have to go because she believes in me. I can't let her down. My mom was just not happy that I'm driving with my stomach touching the steering wheel. But I said, I have to go. And I drove to the bank. It was about 4 kilometers from my residence. I take the steps, I go up. I reach all panting to my field officer. I give him the check with a big smile on my face. Take this payment and please get it deposited. He looks at my face and says, payment is already in your account. I was taken back. I said, कहाँ से आया? मैं तो अभी लेके आई हूँ check. He told me, गीतांजलि मैम ने अपने पर्सनल अकाउंट से आपके अकाउंट में ट्रांसफर किया है, saying that I know she will definitely come and give the payment. Something must have stopped on the way. Delay हो गया होगा, and I don't want her account to become an NPA. I just didn't know what to say. Who does that for you? She doesn't know me. She's not my relative. But she did it. So she was a godsend angel to me. I just walked to her room. I had no words to say. I just stood there and I started crying. She comes and she holds me. She says me, अब तुम जाओ, 3 महीने की maternity लो, don't come, I will manage your bank account. So I call her as my angel because she was there when I needed her the most. So good deeds always come back to you. I have one more very important angel in my life. One gentleman by name Mr. CVR Murthy. He has helped me in my joint venture, documentation, everything. I didn't know him. When I went for a joint venture with Helsa, I was clueless how to do this JV. I did not know the legal formalities. I had no expertise in that. And somebody told me that this gentleman is an expert in this field. He used to live in the same complex where I had my apartment. I had seen him, but we didn't know each other. So I walked to his office. I explained him what I want. And he did everything from my JV. He did everything from attending the due diligence to the legal documentation till the joint venture was signed. And he has never taken a penny from me. All he did, he said, I just want to help you. And he did that. He is again not related to me. He wasn't even a friend or acquaintance to me. But he did that. And today I have such high regards for him. And some words for him, like I can never thank him enough. So he was my angel. So all I would like to tell you ladies is, if you become this capable, अगर आप किसी की मदद कर सकते हो तो please do that. Because I do that now. I feel I should. If I am capable, why not? Give back to the society. When you reach a pinnacle of success, give back to the society. There must be somebody else who needs your help, like Aarti needed and help. So do that. These were the 7 points that I have told you. I hope, I don't know, because I know that today's generation do not like to be advised what to do and what not to do. But think this as a gentle nudge in the right direction. But make your own path, as I said. Don't follow anybody's path. Make your own path. Make your own journey. And be proud of it. I would never like to reach my graveside in a passive, well-preserved body. No way. I would like to go zooming to my grave, fully worn out, having lived my life completely and fully. That's my dream. And my story is not yet over, girls. The climax hasn't come. I stand before you today, tired, worn out, but very happy, at peace, and roaring to do more. Something else I just have to do today is the International Women's Day. Few lines for these girls. I would like to say that before I close this session. नारी तुम प्रेम हो, नारी तुम प्रेम हो, आस्था हो, विश्वास हो. नारी तुम प्रेम हो, विश्वास हो. टूटी हुई उम्मीदों की तुम एक आस हो. टूटी हुई उम्मीदों की एक मात्र आस हो. उठो अपने अस्तित्व को संभालो. उठो अपने अस्तित्व को संभालो. केवल एक दिन नहीं, हर दिन को नारी दिवस मनाओ. So with this, I would like to close this session of mine. I hope I haven't bored you. Thank you so much. Namaste.